Hey everyone, and a big cheers to you. I think you know why. I've never had such a wonderful outpouring of kindness. I'm going to get back to that in a second. I'm just going to explain to you what we're going to do today. And we're going to do a kind of muted petal pink sort of blossom style makeup. Nice to wear with a really strong bright colour. And there's some really nice pinks and different textures that I wanted to show you that can kind of amplify different parts of your face with different textures. Some new products, some classic products, and this is what the end result is. Okay, so I'll just get going with a few little tips and then we'll talk about your absolute generosity. I am extending the warmth of my tan with a really good friend of mine's new product. Now, do you remember I always talked about the Rose H2O spray mist? I absolutely loved it. Well, that was by my friend James. And he basically is called James Reed Tan. It's almost like he was born with the name Tan in his name, but it's not, it's just James Reed. That by meaning that he really is in our industry, the tan expert and a lovely gent. Anyway, he stopped that brand and he wanted to create a whole new tanning system that was full of delicious skincare. There's a mask, which I'll tell you about another week because it's kind of fun. There's the Endless Summer Gradual Tan Moisturiser. Oh, this is the mask. What am I talking about? This is the mask, Break of Dawn mask. Sorry, James, haven't quite got the packaging right. It only came out last week. And you put this on your face and you leave it for 20 minutes. Now, that did freak me out because I thought I would literally go orange. Obviously, I knew that I wouldn't because he wouldn't create something like that. But it's a really lovely mask that nourishes your skin. It's very, very light, but then you're just kind of left with this lovely warmth, which is lovely. This morning I used the Sunbright Tinted Tan Drops. Now this comes in a little sort of pipette applicator and I was a bit like, oh, it's not really picking up enough product, but actually it does. And what it does is stops you using too much. I'm actually going to do an Instagram live with James tomorrow, which is Tuesday. I'm filming this on Monday. Anyway, it is, I literally put it on. If you want me to do like a proper sort of real time thing where I stop it and show you the results, I can, but I promise you I covered my face in it and blended it in with the moisturiser over the top and it's so soft. And what I want to talk to him about is it hasn't picked up on my pigmentation. You know how sometimes fake tans you put it on and it just really darkens your pigmentation. This hasn't done that and I want to find out what ingredients do that because I know it's a bugbear for many of us and I hadn't thought about that until I just spoke to you about it. So that's Self Glow by James Reed. I'm going to kickstart my makeup by, oh no, I've got a really good eye cream. For those of you who love an eye cream, I swing in between loving, not needing, being annoyed that I'm marketed to have an eye cream when my skincare should be good enough, because I feel like it should, but sometimes I do need more hydration around that area. And I can put something on that's probably laced with lots of silicones that feel really nice. But this new one from Murad is called Resurgence. It's a retinol resculpt eye treatment. And I was at a launch the other day and I was speaking to the lady. She did work for Murad. But I then followed up and looked at the results and the tests that they've done. And quite spectacular results if you're in the market for an eye cream. The reason I've got this to show you is that, I put a little bit on, it's just like a really nice cream formula. It's not foamy, it's creamy. And it really does have an effect of tightening that area but not drying my skin out, which I think is typical and annoying of some eye creams or even some moisturisers that say they're going to tighten, and I just don't like that feeling of tighten because I feel like my skin just looks a bit tight. It just doesn't feel comfortable, and I think if my skin is soft and kind of flows with my facial expressions, that feels better. Anyway, that eye cream, highly recommend. I haven't used it long enough, and used it 2 weeks to see if there's any sort of difference at all, but it feels really nice and supple under my eyes. Let's begin with Vita Liberata Beauty Face Bar, and this is the shade medium. So, wow, thank you so much. And also, I just wanted to say, we do, all of us, especially as we're getting older, worry guts. No, so not everyone's a worry guts. I'm a worry guts. Can't worry about anything. And if I'm not worrying about anything, I need to think about what I should be worrying about. And I just wanted to make sure that I was just doing the right content, because if I'm not serving a purpose, then I just thought, what actually is the point? Maybe I'm really gone. Maybe I've just lost it for the moment. Maybe I need to rethink it or blah, blah, blah. And it was just a very kind of like natural chit chat with you all. But oh my goodness, I had absolutely no idea at the response that you guys would take the time to write. And I'm so grateful, appreciative, and really, really flattered. I love the fact that you all find me quite relaxing. I always think I'm like, I've got such a popcorn brain. And I really appreciate that you kind of like the little chit chat, because I have become very relaxed in front of the camera, realising that that's probably just the best way to be. Not being fake, I'm not selling you anything, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of insight to my world, I suppose, because, you know, if you work in insurance, you're probably not going to learn about beauty stuff because it's not coming into your world. But I work in fashion and beauty, and these things kind of drop in, and it's easy for me to be able to relate them. That's why I kind of like first started that, because they're good straight away. Really like, do you know what it is about this product? It's the tone is so warm and honey-like. Look at my coloured earrings. Getting really brave with my earrings these days. I'm loving these colours. Literally become colour obsessed. And I'm going to get Anna on. We'll probably do something in September and do some like tips on earrings and colours and the psychology of colour too. Sorry if I've mentioned that before, but we were chatting on the phone the other day, and she's so passionate about colour. And I think she's actually offering now a colour psychology course, as in how you can really use the benefit of colour to empower your day and elevate certain emotions when needed. Like she talks about blue, and how if you're going to present a meeting or impart information in a very kind of controlled manner, then blue is a wonderful colour to use. I don't really wear much blue apart from denim, but I thought it's so interesting. I think all those things will help us. Going in with the Kosas concealer, and just to lighten that up just slightly, but really I was about to say not too much, but then I've just gone in and done too much. So let me get a firm brush, and oh yes, I had this beauty pipe brush to show you, because this is the one that I buff in the Sunbright tinted tan drops. So I do it with my fingers, but then I like to buff it to make sure, because I was a little nervous that it might come up a bit too dark, and I knew that I wanted to film this afternoon for you guys. Just take that across there, push that in, that's better. Around the little nosy bits, not too much. So yes, I wanted to say an enormous thank you for that, because not only is it just like a massive comfort blanket of joy, I really didn't expect this. Oh my gosh, I've got lots of comments this morning. It's just so nice to think that like-minded people are in my tribe, and I've always kind of thought I've got a really wonderful group of people. And not that the comment was nasty or negative, just like, well, it's not fast and, you know, we should do it the old way. And everyone's entitled to that. It's just really nice to have kindness, isn't it? It's so nice. And wherever you go online, especially on Instagram now, and you'll read anything, whether it's something about the news or a piece of food that someone's cooked, or it's just good things and bad things. It's not good as a human race, are we? It's a very weird situation. It's weird for me not to be able to really connect with you as well, because I would like to have like a proper, I said to Zoe, who works with me, I'd love to have like a big sort of like group meeting. I know that's impossible because you're all spread all over the world, but it's funny to sort of know you all and to recognise the little names that pop out and the frequency that they do, but not to be able to really, really connect. But anyway, here we are, and let's get on with the makeup. So really nice, light, fresh base. We're not going to do any kind of extra highlight, because look at the colour situation. It's like yellow and pink, then you have the gloss on your skin. I'm going to keep it just a little bit more dusty and soft to kind of keep that edge. Like I say, it's always good to pick out, actually, I don't think I've ever said this, but it's always good to pick a few things out of your makeup bag, not everything all the time, and just kind of keep that juxtaposition of just like, this is the colour that I'm going to go for, this is the sheen I'm going to go for. So anyway, let's just see how it develops. Now, going on the subject of warm and cool blushes, this is a really, really good example. So these are new cheek tints from Giorgio Armani from the Luminous Silk collection. And this is a perfect example of a cool blush and a warm neutral blush. So let me just put the warm one on, which would be the one that would suit me. Okay, it's sort of more mauvey, but definitely warm. Just going to put that there. And then this is the cooler one. So if you've got a paler skin, sort of more like a bluey sort of toned, washed underneath, grey hair, Irish skin, Asian skin, this would suit. Now the reason that we talk about, obviously I'm a little bit warmer, so but let's just load up the colour a bit more so you can see for the purpose of what I'm trying to teach you, is that if you get the right tone of makeup for your skin, you'll find that when you pop it on your face, it just morphs with your complexion and your features. So it becomes like it's part of you, like especially with the blush, like it's a natural flush. It's nothing that's been layered on top. But if you get the tone of your makeup wrong, it then looks a bit like face paint. Now, you know, obviously anyone can wear this colour if they want to, yada yada. But I'm just talking about kind of natural makeup and trying to really, you know, embrace your colour palette so that it looks like an elevated beauty. I'm always trying to use makeup as something that kind of just brings out the best in how you look and not necessarily a kind of masterpiece of makeup. And I do that at work and that's wonderful. And there's loads of different ways that you can use makeup. But I just wanted to show you that it just looks a little bit, ooh, that was my cup of tea then. It wasn't. Oh my God, there was this reel on an Instagram that my girlfriend sent. I need to try and find that, send it to you next week. This guy being so clumsy. I mean, that's me. So clumsy. He was falling over everything and I literally could not stop laughing all morning. Anyway, can you see how, yes, the colour is pretty, yes, it works, but it sort of disconnects from me. It sort of looks like makeup. And of course, that's lovely and that's great, but that's because the tone is cold and I am warm, so it just fights a little. Whereas this looks sort of part of me. It's very soft, and you'll notice it more if you use maybe a larger expanse of your face, like your eyeshadow, or if you've got big lips and you've put the colour on, maybe it looks really made up. It doesn't work in synergy with your features. So I just thought that was quite a nice example of the two colours together. And maybe we'll do more of that next year about sort of colour palettes and trying to bring those in together, because I think it's really interesting. And as there are so many tutorials now of makeup, maybe we need to kind of bring something else to the market, you know, just bring something else into it. Because I think that's quite powerful, the way it makes us feel. Anyway, I came across the lovely Charlotte Tilbury this week, and she gave me her new, I think it's new, it was in a little package from me anyway, her new Pillow Talk cream eyeshadow. Oh, do you know what? I was going to show you that brilliant brow product, wasn't I? Pants. Okay, that's in a bag, going to another job. I promise you next week I will do the eyebrow product that I want to show you. In the meantime, before we start, I'm a bit higgledy-piggledy. Victoria Beckham, we can get these ones in for you, has a new product called Feather Fix Liquid Lifting Brow Gel. Now, if you are a Victoria Beckham package fan, which I mean, I have to say I am, it is very, very beautiful and very, very luxe. It comes with this little sort of comb effect. So let's just use this. Now, because I've got, because now my eyebrows are tattooed, if you go back to my very early eyebrow pictures, you'll see how irregular that they looked with a big hole in here. I'm very fortunate now that I don't have that. And on that, hopefully, before we break up for summer at the end of July, my mum's going to hopefully pop in to see Miriam and get her second layer of eyebrows, or just a few little top-ups, and then we can finish that off. If not, that will come in September. Sorry, that's taken a little bit of time. Just getting, I have to drive my mum to Miriam's, and Miriam's very busy and blah, blah, blah. So that is how that has worked. So thoughts on this? Very light, adding a little bit of colour, but not too much. I've gone for a really nice cool grey. I do like the brush. It's, you know, basically like a little mini broom. Brow Broom. Oh, that's a nice product. That's a nice product name. I haven't worn it for the entire day, and I think a good brow product needs to be worn all day before you really recommend. But this just literally came through the post this morning because I wasn't organised. I thought I'd share it with you. There's so many products coming through and through and through. And this is the blade, the brow blade. This has been a good colour for me. Yeah, baby blade, and this is taupe. Again, all the lovely cream packaging. And I'm just going to fill in and extend that just slightly, literally just slightly. You can see where it's a little bit more polished there. It's a little bit more haphazard there. I didn't ask for perfect brows. I asked for morning brows, which is the word that I coined completely myself, for the fact that I wanted to be able to make them more fabulous. I just didn't want to wake up with like, badam, brows. Very nice, quite enjoyed that. Nice colour. It's just nice to have a bit of weight. Okay, so let us get on with the application of the Pillow Talk. Now, the reason I wanted to share this with you is because when I looked at it, I thought, didn't really float my boat. And I thought, what a matte, mute colour. And I know it's Pillow Talk, and I love the Pillow Talk powder quads. It's been so pleasurable to use at work, but it's still a little bit more peachy. And this is a little bit more sort of petally, sort of vintage blossom. Got a little bit more brown in, but I have to say, I really loved the effect. It stayed put for the most part. I do have quite wrinkly eyes and expressive eyes. So it will obviously move a little bit. It's not going to stay perfect, but it didn't kind of literally go into one line. But I really loved the effect of the brightness. It really, really brightened my eyes. Now I'm just applying with a basic eyeshadow brush, not my finger, because I want that to be quite precise in this outer corner here. And as you can see, I'm going quite low underneath. And if you go low with something soft, go low. That reminds me of, what do you do under that pole? Limbo. When was the last time anyone limboed? Let me know. God. I mean, I just wouldn't be able to, I just can't limbo. It's not going to happen anymore. Right, good. Isn't it nice? So just with the shape of your eye, dragging that down, and because it's a cream, I thought it was a really lovely way of opening out the eye and really brightening the eye. This colour does something to the whites of my eyes. Just looking at the whites of my teeth, but no, too much. So yes, I thought, the guys will love this, because it wouldn't be, do you know why I say that? Because it wouldn't be a colour that I would pick up in a department store, especially with the bright lights. I know Pillow Talk's like famous and everyone gets everything in Pillow Talk and blah, blah, blah. But it's a bit of a meh colour. But meh colours, as you can see, sometimes are very flattering, especially with a possible bright pink or fuchsia tone that you might be wearing. So just push that right in, all into the creases. Now I've got a brown kohl pencil that I was going to just do a little bit, going back in with the Rimmel Scandalise, which is such a fave. And I might just do a little bit, but I don't know whether I will, whether it needs it. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just tight line underneath and see if that's enough. Just on this outer corner, I go underneath my lashes. You have to use something that's really soft if you're going to do this. Yes, that's perfect. So I did a little scribble on top which blends through, just literally almost like a little finger, a little pinky, and then pull that underneath, make crazy faces. I don't want it to look too glam. I wanted it just to be like a little face shaper there underneath. Wedge, 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 pull that out. Let's see. Yeah, that's enough. I think that's enough, otherwise it's going to go too glam. Okay, good. Right, going in with the Beauty Pie flash false lash effect. Feather lash false, any Fs that we can put in here. Mascara. The mascara, I think I used this last week. Nice and short wand, nice and short twisted bristles. Get some mascara on super easy. Lovely packaging. Really nice formula that doesn't crumble. As we say, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I've got a terrible habit at the moment of shortening everything. Hi darling, do you want to have some break? To my kids. I think I've got it from them because everything's like abbreviations that I often get wrong and think, what the heck's that? You have to spend about, 1 minute looking at their message trying to understand and comprehend what they're saying without going, I don't know what that means. In fact, if I've got a young person with me on a job, they're always quite good. What does this mean? I can pretend that I know it all because I'm sure they do it just to be mischievous, Yeah, Mum won't know what the heck I'm talking about. Oh, that's like a little bruise. It's not. Can't remember if I told you I couldn't get my eyes lasered. I had them lasered years ago. It was absolutely life-changing. If you've never done it and you want to improve your vision far away, you can now have these special lenses that they put into your eye that you can read close up and far away. But for some reason, something to do with my astigmatism, I can't have that. It took me a long time to convince myself to go in because it's expensive, but I thought, you know what, I just can't bear wearing glasses. Anyway, I can't have it done. So I've now got one contact lens in one eye. One eye's for far away, one eye's for close. If you've got any eye tips, let me know. I think it's going to improve over time, but it's even like when you're driving, trying to read the sat nav and then trying to see where you're going, especially in the dark. That was quite a scary moment that happened in the wintertime. I was like, oh gosh, I don't even trust my own eyes anymore. And you do that kind of like Blinky the cow thing where you're like, oh, just work, and they don't. Got a little bit of a clog there, let me get rid of that. The blush is so soft. So if you're someone who doesn't really like the look of makeup, maybe you've got like freckly skin or you've never really worn a lot of makeup, and then you think, oh, actually I need a little bit of makeup now. This is a sort of perfect texture for that. We all have different needs, don't we, and requirements. I've always worn makeup because I've always had terrible skin, but some of my friends who are just absolutely blooming gorgeous and have never really needed the makeup, and now they're like, oh, I need something. This kind of texture is nice because it's so transparent. Let's just put a little bit more on. It complements this top really well. It's sort of quite a mauvey pink. I'm just checking I've got a clean finger pad. Put that in and then soften the edges. That lovely flush. I don't want too much of an Aunt Sally look, but I'll just let that settle. Yeah, you see, it actually didn't need it, did it? It didn't need that extra layer. That'll settle down. Put a bit of concealer there. Lovely. Just to patch that up. And just bring that round. Just having a nice creamy concealer is a wonderful way just to correct all those mistakes, just especially like round here, But we can bring the blusher in too much so that it sort of squashes in our face. We want the blusher to kind of go lift. Right, lips. Now, I want to talk a bit about texture. I went into Superdrug and they had these gorgeous Revolution, lots of different colours there, lip glosses, very nice, lots of sort of balmy textures, but this is so multi-pigmented. It's got pinks, lilacs, golds in it. I'm going to show you just on my lips, straight away bare. So you get a little bit of pink coming through. And it's very soft, but because you've got the different tones of light, a bit like the one I used last week, the number 7, that kind of amplified my lip shape with the tone, and it didn't kind of have too much pigment in that, you saw a difference between the lip line. But this is really nice way to shape your lips. If you feel you don't want much colour, maybe your lips are quite fine, but because it's nicely, because it's got the varying pigments in it, just makes your lips look a little bit fuller. It's only a fine layer. Feels really silky on. Really, really silky. Anyway, I thought that's something to look at. If you do see these colours and you think, oh no, that's way too sort of unicorny for me, or no, that's a bit too disco. When it's broken down and it's on your lips, they're actually very, very soft and very flattering. So I'm going to use it on top of my lipstick. And I'm going back to this lovely, it's called Shade Game from Barry M. You can pick them up from Amazon. But I think it's such a lovely colourway if you really are wanting to have a different kind of lipstick, but you're stuck in a rut and you always get the same shade. I used to do that for years when I was younger, and I would just always want to go out and find something new, and I'd just gravitate to what was a safety net. So I'm going to just find my perfect sort of nudie pink. So I'm going to mix a couple of the colours together until I feel like I've got the right one myself. So maybe a little bit of centre, a little bit of the top left. See what that brings. Okay, so now I can see that's just too cool. I need to warm it up, so I've gone in with a little bit of the brown. See where I'm going with this? And then it helps you think, okay, fine, that doesn't suit me, so I need to go warmer. That's nice, it kind of connects more with the tone of my skin currently, a little bit warmer, but it's still too puttyish. I need more shape for my age. I say for my age because I just think young people can get away with that lovely kind of soft putty lip, but as we get older we do need a little bit of colour in our lips. So now I've just got in with a little bit of the pink and I'm building it up to get that perfect colour with this top. And of course, if I was wearing black or white, if I was wearing white, I might not need it to be so pink. And if I was wearing black, I might go a bit stronger. And it's just a really nice thing, palette to have in your bag to play with colour. Great, really happy with that tone. That's a lovely balance. And like I said, I'm going to take the Revolution Lovely Glossy Balm and place that just in the centre. Balmy Gloss, not sure what they're called, actually, what they're called. Vegan Collagen Peptide. Oh, that's maybe, see, I've just literally gone for the colour. And when I was doing testing on the ones that I liked and getting rid of the ones I didn't even read the name. That's why. It's obviously like a lovely kind of booster for your skin too. So yeah, just a little hint, just don't disregard things that maybe look a bit too disco, you know, or something that you think, oh no, I'm too grown up for that nowadays. It can really make a difference with, you know, how the texture affects your mouth or lips or eyes. Anyway, thank you so much. Here is the look, just a really kind of soft, flattering, nudie pink, which works with really bright colours. And as I said before, you're the best. Thank you so much, lovely people. I hope I've eased you into your Saturday morning or sent you off to sleep. Whatever I'm able to do for you, I'm very grateful that you tune in. So thanks very much.